You know that moment, right? You walk into your coworker's birthday party. The music is loud. People are laughing and talking. Conversations are flowing together like a current you don't know how to step into. And you just stand there holding a cup like it's a prop. Your brain, totally blank. You're not shy. You're not awkward. You're just an introvert. You like deep conversations. You have a lot of interesting things in your head. But the opening part, that small talk, it feels like a door with no handle. Meanwhile, there's always that one guy who walks in, high fives three people, cracks a joke about the snacks, and somehow walks out with five new connections and a weekend plan. What does he know that you don't? The truth is, introverts actually have an advantage, but most people were never shown how to use it. Small talk isn't random. It has structure. It has rhythm. There are invisible signals people are scanning in the first few seconds. And once you see the mechanics behind it, the pressure disappears. Today, that changes. You don't need to act like a host. You don't need cheesy pickup lines or to force yourself to play the loud extrovert. I'm going to give you a practical 6-step system, a system that helps you start any conversation. But before we get into the techniques, we need to reset the way you see small talk. Most of us are afraid to start a conversation because we completely misunderstand its purpose. You walk into a simple chat and put the pressure on yourself like you're auditioning for The Voice. You think, I have to say something smart, I have to be funny, I have to prove to this person that I'm interesting and deep. Stop right there. No one is thinking about you as much as you think they are. Trust me. Small talk is not a stage for you to show off your personality. It's not a tool to impress anyone. Small talk actually has only one goal in this world: to make the other person feel seen. That's it. Just acknowledgement. In a world where everyone is glued to a 6-inch screen, in a society where we pass by each other like ghosts, the simple act of looking up, noticing a small detail about someone, and making a comment about it, it's almost like magic. It sends a signal of safety that says, hey, I see you, you're not invisible. Remember this line for me: you don't need to become more interesting. You just need to pay better attention. You don't need to be charming. You need to observe. Lock that into your mind. Now let's get into the 6-step system. Step 1. Observe and share a thought. The biggest mistake introverts make when trying to start a conversation is turning it into an interrogation. What do you do? Where are you from? Or have you been waiting long? Those are closed questions. They create pressure. They force the other person to dig through their brain and file a report back to you. No one likes feeling questioned. Instead, turn on your observation radar. Stop staring into their eyes trying to find a topic. Look at the environment around you. You're both sharing the same setting, right? There's a psychology principle here. When two people focus their attention on a third object, the face-to-face pressure disappears. Your job is to find something unusual, interesting, or even mildly annoying in the environment and make a casual comment about it, like you're just thinking out loud. Imagine you're waiting for the elevator in an office building. It's stuck on the 15th floor and refuses to come down. The silence feels heavy. Don't turn to the person next to you and ask, have you been waiting long? Look up at the elevator display, sigh a little, and say, I'm pretty sure this elevator is taking a nap on the 15th floor. Or you're standing in line at Starbucks on a busy Monday morning. Instead of asking, have you been waiting long? Just mumble, at this rate, I might not even need coffee anymore. See the difference? You're not forcing them to answer. You're just tossing a life raft into the awkward silence. You're sharing a perspective. If they want to, they'll smile and grab onto it. If they don't, they stay quiet and you lose nothing because you were just commenting on the elevator or the coffee shop. No risk, no rejection. And once they grab the signal and respond, don't let it fade out. Keep the rhythm going with step 2. Step 2. Respond with an open statement. Okay, let's say they laugh and say, yeah, seriously, this building's elevator is terrible. I'm late for work all the time because of it. Great. The fish took the bait. But this is where 90% of introverts trap themselves. Because you're nervous, you reply with a one-word answer that slams every door shut. Yeah? Or true? Boom. Conversation dead. Restart from 0. Don't do that. Communication is like ping pong. They just hit the ball to your side. You can't catch it, put it in your pocket, and walk away. You have to hit it back. And the tool you use is an open statement or a light guess. Instead of interrogating them again, make an open comment based on what they just said. They say, "I'm late for work all the time because of this elevator." You reply, "I'm guessing your boss has heard that excuse before." Or they're holding a giant cup of coffee. You say, "That coffee looks like it's your hero today." They respond, "Yeah, I pulled an all-nighter to finish a deadline." You say, "You look like you just survived a battle with that deadline. You holding up okay?" This kind of response does two things. First, it shows you're actually listening to what they said. Second, it invites them to explain and tell a story instead of just answering yes or no. People love talking about their own struggles or experiences, as long as you tap into the right thread. Now let's move to the next step. Step 3. Take control of the direction. This is a superpower I call the art of redirecting. Sometimes the other person will ask you questions, but they'll be boring ones. "How was your weekend? Work been busy lately?" If you answer honestly, "Oh, I just slept and cleaned the house," or "Work's been normal," congratulations, you just killed the conversation yourself. No one wants a detailed report on how well you mopped the floor. Remember this rule. In everyday conversation, you are not in court. You are not under oath to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. You have the right to guide the conversation toward territory where you feel comfortable. Politicians do this all the time. A reporter asks one thing, they answer with the message they want to deliver. We're going to do the same thing, but for a better reason. Let's say someone asks, "Has work been busy lately?" You work in IT. Your job is mostly coding and fixing bugs. Talking about it is painfully dull. So you redirect, "About the same. But lately I've been trying to learn about Texas BBQ. Last week I turned a brisket into a total disaster." See the structure? Give a short answer to the original question, about 10%, add the word "but," then shift to the topic you actually care about, the other 90%. Or they ask, "Did you go anywhere this weekend?" You redirect, "I stayed home, but I just finished this sci-fi series on Netflix. You know, the one with time travel. The plot totally messed with my brain. Are you into that kind of stuff?" You just turned a dry small talk question into a doorway to your personal interests. And when you talk about something you enjoy, your eyes light up, your energy changes, and you naturally become more engaging. Introverts truly shine when they're speaking in their zone of passion. So create that zone yourself. You've got momentum now. But don't make the mistake of talking too much. That's when you need to hit the brakes with step 4. Step 4, pause to give the other person space to join in. Now we need to talk about silence. The biggest nightmare for introverts. We have a very unhealthy habit. Once we push past the awkwardness and finally start talking, we get so scared the conversation will die that we don't stop. We fill every gap with words. We over-explain. We ask and answer our own questions. We ramble with no breaks. There's slang for this. Word vomit. Please, stop. Take a deep breath. Communication is not a solo speech. When you toss the ball, you have to stand still long enough for the other person to run over and pick it up. After you finish a point or ask an open question, close your mouth. Look them in the eye. Give a small smile. Count quietly in your head. 1, 2, 3. That 3-second silence is not awkward silence. It's intentional silence. It gives their brain time to process what you said, organize their thoughts, and decide what they want to share. If you keep jumping in, you take away their chance to participate. You turn them into an unwilling audience. Remember this, a true small talk expert is not the one who talks the most. It's the one who creates the most comfortable pauses, so the other person wants to step in and fill the space. Don't fear silence. Use it as a tool. Once that pause opens the door for them to speak, your job is to mine for gold with the next step. Step 5, find common ground. This is where small talk levels up and turns into deep talk. This is where introverts start to take control of the game. During a conversation, people constantly drop breadcrumbs, little keywords hidden inside their sentences. Your job is to perk up and listen carefully so you can pick up those crumbs. For example, you ask, "Was traffic bad this morning?" They reply, "Yeah, totally jammed. I was already exhausted because my cat got sick last night, so I was up all night taking care of her." A poor communicator would say, yeah, highway traffic is the worst. Wrong. You just walked past a gold mine. The most valuable keyword in that sentence is not traffic, and it's not exhausted. It's my cat. That's where the emotion is. That's what they actually care about. Grab it. Dig into it. You have a cat? What breed? Is she okay now? Boom. Goodbye, boring traffic talk. Welcome to Pet Lover Club. From this moment on, you don't have to force words out anymore. Shared experience and shared emotion will naturally carry the conversation forward. They love reading? Ask about the last book that changed the way they think. They love backpacking? Ask about their most unforgettable moment in a new place. They're burned out from work? Ask what they'd do first if they won a $500 million Powerball tomorrow, right after quitting their job. See it? Once you find the underground stream you both care about, you've unlocked their defensive wall. At that point, small talk has completed its mission. It steps aside and makes room for real human connection. And finally, if you know how to start, you also need to know how to end. Don't let it get awkward. That's where step 6 comes in. Step 6, the graceful exit. There will be times when you do all 5 steps right and the conversation is still flat. Why? Maybe they're in a bad mood, maybe they're genuinely busy, or maybe the two of you just don't click. No chemistry. That's okay. Failing at one small conversation does not define your worth as a person. But our biggest fear is this. If the conversation gets boring, how do I leave without being awkward? That fear of having no escape route is what stops you from even starting. So here's your emergency exit. Always keep one graceful exit line ready in your head. The rule is simple. Be clear, smile, and give a neutral reason that has nothing to do with them. Don't let the conversation slowly die in painful awkwardness while you both squeeze out the last few words. End it on purpose when you feel it slowing down. I'm going to grab another drink. It was great talking with you. Catch you later. Or at a party. I won't keep you. Feel free to mingle. I'm going to grab something to drink. That's it. Light, polite, clean. The other person will probably feel relieved too, because no one has to force the conversation anymore. When you know you can always hit the eject button anytime you want, you walk into conversations feeling free and relaxed. We've gone through all 6 steps. Now let's zoom out and look at the bigger picture. I want to break one last illusion in your mind. Mastering small talk is not about walking into a party, shining like a spotlight, shaking hands, and hugging everyone like a politician running for office. It's not about becoming the center of attention, talking the most in the room, making everyone laugh, and impressing the crowd. That's Hollywood, not real life. The truth about mastery is much deeper. Mastery is standing in a grocery store line and knowing that if you want to, you can start an interesting conversation with the person in front of you at any moment. Mastery is when the conversation falls into silence, and instead of panicking, you smile and enjoy it. Mastery is when you say something. They just nod and give a short reply, and you don't overthink it later in bed that night. You don't beat yourself up. You just shrug and move on. We are obsessed with having to say something impressive. But let me repeat this one more time. Small talk is not about talking. It's about attention. It's the ability to step out of the glass box of your own insecurity, look at the person next to you, and show them they are being heard and seen. And you know what? Careful observation, deep listening, catching subtle details, reading emotional cues. Aren't those natural strengths of introverts? We were born with one of the best toolkits for human connection. We just haven't learned how to use it. That sensitivity you've been calling a weakness, it's actually your unfair advantage. Next time you step into a stuffy elevator or wait for your drink at a coffee shop, don't bury your face in your phone to hide from the world. Look up, turn on your radar, notice something, make a comment. Worst case, they ignore you. You exit. Your life is still perfectly fine. Best case, you just created a small but real human connection in the middle of this chaotic world. Trust me, you can do this. And once you get used to it, you'll realize this small talk game is actually kind of fun. If this video helped you see small talk in a new way, hit subscribe and share it with a friend who's also struggling with social anxiety. That's how you help them access real human connection. Thank you for watching all the way to the end. I'm Apex. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any videos. See you next time.